This is Sexy Funny Raw, where we chat all about the world of sex, from dating and relationships all the way to the adult industry itself. I'm Silvia Saige, and this is my Pornspective, answering all the questions you weren't even brave enough to ask Google. Get ready, because Sexy Funny Raw starts now.
That's my line.
I just like feeling a part of the crowd. I'm a part of something. It's so nice. Yeah, it feels good.
You can be like an honorary Latina.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
All right. I feel like I've had sex with enough Latinas. I love having sex with Latina men, actually. They're such good lovers. And I feel like
we're amazing.
I feel like
That's why we have so many babies.
And out of the penis game, there might be my top tier penises.
I am respectfully going to disagree with you.
Really? What's your top tier penis?
Well, I mean, not to get super ethnic, but like I love black guys.
Okay.
But I find Latinos are hit or miss so all over the map. I mean, there's some Latinos that are just like, are you okay?
I guess
like,
I've only been with like high functioning Latino like
If
men.
it's South American men, typically, and this is demographic research, whatever,
Right.
I'm not...
He's like,
down.
I have traveled.
Yes.
I have done the research.
I have done that. I'm a dick scientist.
Yeah.
But South American men are typically very hung. Like Brazilians are like thunk.
But see, that's how every Latino man I've ever slept with has had a thunk and a knowledge behind it. It's like it's
because it's like the movement, it's the dancing, it's the passion.
It's all of it.
Again, that's why we have
love
so
it.
many babies.
It's
We
true,
can't
though.
stop.
No, it's true. All right, well, welcome back to another episode of Sexy Funny Raw. I am here. I am joined by Alexander, my co-host, my producer, my love of my life. Helps get me through so many things. Thank you for being here for me, Alexander. And also, we are having one guest on our show today, and it's because he is such a powerhouse. We needed no other guest to make this show happen. Welcome to the show, Mr. AJ Sloan.
He's so shy. He's so not shy, but he's shy. He's adorable.
He is not shy.
That was quite the introduction. I'm really honored to be here.
I'm actually not done with your introduction.
Oh, wow.
Because Mr. AJ Sloan is porn's newest obsession. AJ came into the industry just last year and jumped right into riding the OnlyFans wave during COVID. Soon after, though, he made his gay professional debut with Treasure Island and Christian Dior. Is that how I pronounce that?
Bjorn, yes.
Bjorn,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay. He is a porn unicorn, a true verse who can take it just as sexily as he can give it.
It's so true.
It is true.
That was so good.
Off screen, you can find him hiking mountains and museums, and just take a look on his Instagram for those ass pics along the way.
Literally on the trail, like with people walking around, and there's his butt.
Yeah, you can thank me for that. AJ was forced, like so many others during the pandemic, to shift gears from his career in the New York art scene to choosing to spend some time living abroad in Spain for 9 months, to soaking up the sun in Palm Springs, to hitting the industry hard, all pun intended. Welcome our guest, AJ Sloan.
He is such a newbie in the business.
I know, but coming in hard. Like we said, all of the pun intended.
Pun intended.
And I will say he has become one of my hiking buddies. So I am the one taking those ass shots, typically. And recently we had a mother. We had hiked to the top of this mountain right over Malibu, and there was like a mother-daughter combo, and the mom was like, "Oh, will you take a picture of me really quick?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "I really want to get a picture of my ass right here." I'm like, Let's go like 10 feet over this direction, away from the children, and we can take pictures of asses." But yeah.
Now, have you always
Success,
had...
by the way.
Very successful. Have you always had like that kind of exhibitionist quality, like energy?
Kinda. I mean, like you said, I'm shy, but also I'm kind of like showing off the assets that I was given. So yeah, it does go back.
Well, and you truly, I've met some verses in the industry, and at home they usually just like one or the other, but you truly enjoy both aspects of being a top and being a bottom.
Oh God, yeah, my favorite's flip fucking all day long.
That's so much work.
I
It's
think
so
that
fun.
would
It's
be
just like a buffet.
I agree. I mean, honestly, I'm typically only fucking men, but I love when a man will let me fuck him. I like, because it's a shift in energy. It's a shift in energy, and I like someone like letting me dominate, and and I
So
like
how do you do
being,
that? Do you put like a strap on?
for sure.
Oh.
There's always a way.
Yeah.
And you're doing it to straight men?
Yes.
And they okay.
Well, straight. I don't know what. That's again with we just did a show about labels. It's like how straight is that? It's still a woman, but you're still getting your ass fucked. So I don't know.
Has no
like
label, just yes.
Right.
Well, yeah, the
true.
G spot, like it's again. We're here with the science. We're here with the science.
We're here for
the
science.
more you know.
Yeah, reading rainbow.
A man's G spot. So like women will put their fingers in their straight guy's ass, and it feels good. I'm strictly never a bottom. No. Oh.
But you don't even let fingers. This is like so mind-blowing.
I think I have a tilted anus because it feels so awful. Nobody has ever successfully been able to do anything.
I think that's more of a mental thing for you, but I don't know. We'll just have to visit that on another day.
Anyway, were you always like when you first started having gay sex? Were you always verse, or were you doing something first and then you discovered something else?
I think as a teen I was a big old bottom. I think that's how we all get introduced.
Is
to
it?
The bed.
I don't know that. Alexander's like, that's not how I was
Not at all.
introduced.
Well, that was my introduction.
So
Just
yeah.
right up the ass.
You were having sex as a teenager? Was it like a school chum? Was it? Did I say school chum?
Chum.
I don't know
You
what it
did.
Hello, governor. School chum,
Was
yeah.
it a school chum, eh?
Do it up the bum.
My boyfriend was in college. I was one of those.
With the older boys.
But
That's
I
how
lost
you
my
do.
virginity to someone else. So
Okay, now we have to hear the story.
Well, right.
I was working at a cafe, and one of my, customers asked me out, and I failed to tell my boyfriend at the time that I was going on this other date, and that's how I lost my virginity.
Wait, when did you come out?
I came out when I was 17.
So fairly young. Did you date women before this?
No.
Wow. So you were a platinum gay. So your first sexual
Platinum.
experience was with a man.
Yes.
Love that for you.
Now, did you just like come out to everybody at once, or what was that like?
No, it wasn't really that intense. I told my friends one at a time. A lot of them already knew, obviously. I wasn't really hiding much.
Were you like the tap dancing friend? Is that why like everyone knew? Like
was
that's
a
what
bit-
I'm saying. Like, I mean, what was that? You're like everyone kind of already knew. So
I don't know. I was artsy, and the neighborhood I grew up in was very bohemian, very art-oriented. But yeah,
Okay.
I was always doing crew at the nearest theater.
what's crew?
Crews backstage for.
okay.
It's
you
usually
know about
lesbians.
this.
Yeah,
I
it's,
was-
it's usually lesbians that are the crew, like with the short haircuts and like in the black jeans and the keychain with like
Okay.
they're like building sets as you're doing the show. I mean, they're
Okay.
like hardcore. Like it's very true.
I thought of like men rowing in college. Isn't that crew?
No, that's a whole
That is
different
crew,
fantasy going on.
yeah.
I love crew because their arms and then they get out of the raft and their legs are still like toothpicks. You're like, oh.
Is that the truth? I guess I've never seen him get out of the
Because
boat.
that's all they're doing.
Yeah, true.
I mean, I'm just whatever, but it's usually a disappointment. I mean, so girls, I think, have bigger problems with guys with chicken legs than gay guys. Like, I'm joking, but if a guy has like skinny legs, I'm like, I
mean,
don't really care.
I don't know about that because I think women, they're even if a guy has skinny legs, he's usually not wearing shorts. I feel like men with skinny, like straight men with skinny legs, are not wearing shorts. But you're a gay man, so you're like flamboyant enough to wear shorts. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, well, but straight men have awful fashion sense, so they will wear
Yeah.
shorts. My mom was in a deep relationship, and I don't know how, like 2 years into it, he wore shorts for the first time to like a family picnic, and his legs were so skinny and so white. She was like,
yeah.
she literally dumped him.
Well, I can understand. If skinny and pale and white, like just don't bring them out. Like you haven't brought them out ever. Keep them to where they are. That's fine. Like if you're going to cover it for the majority of the time,
Yeah.
cover it for
Yeah.
all the time, unless it's in private spaces. Oh my God, that was so mean of me. I just said a really mean
No,
thing. And I
because you're saying what turns you on.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being honest about that.
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I like all shapes and sizes and colors, but not pale. Pale is the one I won't. Cancel.
all right, so you had sex young-ish.
17, is that young?
That's not young. No.
I feel like
for-
everyone
for-
else
for
I
gay
know lost
sex
their
it is.
virginity like
Yeah.
way younger than 17.
I was 15. I was the last one of my friends. Like the only person in my high school I felt like who hadn't had sex.
But you grew up like in Kansas. There was nothing
Yeah.
else to do but like
Yeah.
drink, have sex.
Yeah. Yeah. That and do drugs.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there's a bonus.
So you were later in life.
Yeah, I'm a prude. You know that.
Well, I mean, I would not call you a prude.
So
from the stories I know, this is a man who will walk into a retail store and have sex with the person checking him out.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, see, I don't hear these stories because I hang out with him too, and he's like the model, perfect, like, yes, sir, And he doesn't get crazy, he doesn't get drunk, he doesn't.
Yeah.
You see me drunk.
No.
I don't know if I've ever seen you drunk, being
He's like
honest.
the same. He's just like, I'm really drunk right now. Should we file our taxes?
And
I mean,
that's
he's like
me
so
drunk.
responsible.
I don't file my own taxes.
Do you file taxes? I got a tax guy if you don't.
I file my own taxes.
Shall we with this?
My tax guy for years used to drink my pee is the story behind that.
Payment's payment.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
I wonder if he would have brought somebody else's pee if he would have known. Like,
no,
that's a man's
because
pee.
I would go when I got there. He would have
was
a
it
cup.
live? Yeah.
Like he would have the cup ready there in the office, and he wanted me to do it in front of him, but I drew the line, and I was like, no. I'm going to go to the bathroom and pee in this cup, and then I will bring it to you. So,
Behind this door.
Yes. Yeah. I have, like, I don't know what I have. It's not class. You know, I recently, I didn't realize how much my personality was until other people have started telling me that, like, I'm a outrageous human. And I always thought, because I was shadowed behind Wes, and I always thought Wesley was the outrageous of us two, and I was the one behind us, like, making sure that we had enough money to get home, and we
that
could,
was
like,
always you.
know?
It still is you. Like, even though we've gotten like really fucked up when we've gone out, you've always been like the mothering figure.
Well, yeah, I definitely.
Or like, I mean, not like age-wise, but like
Yeah,
big
I
sister.
know what
Like,
you mean.
you made sure that we all made it to your house safe.
Yes.
And then you fed us like it was like 4 a.m, and you were like, "Okay, eat up.
Yeah,
You're grounded."
I definitely do that, but I think I didn't realize how much of my personality is wild until I was like with some comedy and porn people, and my porn friend was trying to be like less porny, and I was like, oh, like making porn jokes, and she was like, God, when you're around, she was like, you just bring out like the side of me I always try to like keep in, you know. She was like, I just don't want everyone to think I'm just like this porn girl. And I'm like, fuck it, we suck dick. Like, let's talk about the dicks we suck. Like, why are we not discussing this?
But it is funny when we're with somebody that takes a lot of the energy.
Yeah.
And you feel like that is your role. You just kind of slip into that
Yeah.
role. And it's just like, you know, when you break up or whatever and you're just like on your own.
Yeah.
Like I used to be so codependent, and it's only until the last like 5 years that I was like, you know, I don't need anybody. And it's personality, confidence, everything just went through the roof because of that.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, on my confidence is through the roof, and I've been single for 14 years. So yeah, maybe it is that. I think being alone does make you a stronger person.
We even talked about you the other day because it's like, you know, she really has got it going on, and like she is strong. She doesn't need to be around. There's a difference between being alone and then being lonely.
Yeah.
I don't think you're lonely. I think, you know, it's like, this is my time. I'm going to focus on stuff. I'm going to work out. I'm going to make sure, you know, I'm financially responsible. I'm going to travel when I want to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an amazing life.
The only thing I will say is I do miss having a travel buddy. I miss somebody who will go and do those things with me, but I also like, I'm not trying to pay for everybody to go do these things with me. Like, and that's where I feel like I'm at in life, is because I'm like, I have to like pay for my friends to come with me because they can't afford to go do the things I want to do.
Especially after COVID, it's like,
well, yeah.
Yeah. I totally get that. And, you know, having a good travel buddy is, it's so much easier.
Well, and someone you can fuck along the way. That's,
Oh.
Is that not what we all want from travel buddies?
I was like, I'll be your travel buddy.
Do we not want travel buddies we can have sex with? Or at least somebody who's going to help you get laid along the way.
Yeah. 100%.
Right,
Yeah.
who can like tag team you out to somebody. Is that not appropriate to say? Is tag teaming
You're
out?
describing the ideal friend, right?
Yeah,
No, literally.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, you know, we're talking about like career changes and life choices.
Yes.
It's not like you were 17 and you're like, oh, that sex was really good. Let me get into porn. What was that kind of shift? When was the first opportunity that you had to be like, oh, let's do this?
You mean transition to porn?
Yeah.
I mean, all my friends know that I'm a very open and very sex-positive person, and I'm really not shy in that aspect. I was working in, you know this, working in an art gallery, and then COVID happened, as you read. And yeah, all my friends were saying, you should start an OnlyFans. And I was like, no. Okay.
Funk. Look at it.
Yeah.
And we know the rest of the story.
a lot of our mutual friends have gotten into OnlyFans or Just for Fans or Fansite, and what a lot of people don't realize, it's just not some magic overnight success.
No.
Everyone's like, oh, you can make thousands of dollars a month, and yes, you can.
With a fan base.
Yeah.
It takes time, though.
It really takes time, and it takes
also, I went to Spain for so long, and like, I don't recommend going to Spain when you want to start a career in porn, especially Valencia. It's great oranges, great beaches, but
is
it's
there
definitely not where you go to.
Is there not a porn scene there? I thought there was.
Everybody's having sex.
Barcelona,
Valencia.
yes. Madrid,
Barcelona.
kinda. Valencia, no. So like, near the end, I went to Barcelona, started filming a bunch, and that was right before I came to LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Now,
But the rest of
speak
relaxation
Spanish,
was
I'm
great.
assuming.
Oh God, I learned when I moved there. I took some in high school, but I have to say I read all the subtitles on Netflix now, and I understand like good 80% of them.
What is the difference between having sex with an American and having sex with a
Valencian.
Valencian? Is that what you would call it? I was
Valencia,
yeah.
just like the oranges.
Because they're more open sexually, obviously, than Americans.
They're a lot more passionate.
Okay.
It's
A
that
lot
rhythm,
more
it's that
intense.
dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they don't all have rhythm. I mean, if you're lucky. But yeah, I mean, it's a very, even the people there that aren't religious, it's like the Mediterranean is a very like heavily Catholic influenced area.
Okay.
So I feel like there's a lot of closet cases. How do you say that in Spanish?
Catholics are fucking though. Catholics are not shy about their
Oh, I feel like
sexuality
there's
either.
a brothel going on at Vatican City. Like,
Yeah.
At all hours of the day.
Well, we
but-
know how many cover-ups the churches.
I mean,
have to
all they
pull.
have to do is go say I'm sorry, and then they're like forgiven, so they can do whatever they want in that religion. I feel like. Don't they just have to go
Hold it back. It's
repent
so
or
stupid.
something?
You're like,
Yeah.
Father, I'm sorry because I have sinned, blah, blah, blah. I had my first reconciliation. And literally you would say, oh, I killed a man. And then like say 3 Hail Marys.
That was what
Suck
you
my
said at
dick.
your first confession. You
Yeah.
killed a man.
Can you imagine?
With kindness.
So what made you move to Spain and then what made you move back?
I have friends there, and I lost my job to COVID. Was in New York, and shit was getting crazy there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted
I can't
to
even believe
get
you were
away.
able to just go for that long, especially during COVID, because I
was a
feel like travel
process.
was especially traveling abroad during that time. Did you go right in March, right when things were shutting down?
I moved. I was up in the air during the insurrection. What is it? The insurrection?
January
Yeah.
6th thing.
So
yeah.
when I landed, everyone's like, "Oh, you escaped just in time."
Oh, it was during that. So
But
it was
I had
a
to
little
get a visa and
after.
everything. Yeah.
Wow. I've never lived abroad. I wouldn't even know. No.
Oh, I recommend.
I
it.
think you would do well in like
I'll leave
France.
travel enough.
Yeah, my problem is it would be the food for me. It's because I have such a sensitive stomach. Anytime I travel, I always feel like I have a real problem.
Girl, I mean, we're on a few different pages. We have a few pages between us.
Right.
But when I went to Europe for 2 weeks, I lost 10 pounds because the food was so atrocious, and I'm so picky.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I guess
I'm
we're just not.
super picky. I honestly, when I travel abroad, I started bringing my own snacks because I can't do it. My stomach is so sensitive. And especially in London, I was staying in my girlfriend's house, and in London, everything is super small. The bathrooms are so tiny.
And the food is so awful. People just don't understand how awful the food is.
I was so uncomfortable because I was like, just destroying their bathroom every day. Like, it's just not a comfortable place to be for me. I just need basics. I just need you to have some fruit and some bread for me, and then I'll survive. Like, I'll make it. But I don't think I could live abroad because I don't think my stomach could physically handle the differences.
But again, going back to our subject of career choices, like you were doing well in the medical industry.
I wouldn't say doing well. I would say I was doing the bare minimum is what I would say I was doing.
Because you weren't passionate about
No,
it.
not at all. And I was also like I still drink and I still smoke weed, but I was like a really heavy into like getting really fucked up. Like I was blacking out on a regular basis. I was
unhappy.
doing like harder drugs. Like I was just doing a lot of things that weren't in a good place. So for me, it was like a massive switch. My whole family thought I was out of my mind leaving. Well, for one, I didn't just leave medicine. I also left a long-term relationship. I had been with this man for 5 years. We bought a home together.
What?
Yeah. So
I've never heard that.
I left a lot of like like normalcy, and then I was like, nope, I'm moving to Los Angeles. I'm gonna be a stand-up comedian. And then 6 months later, I was like, oh, and a porn actress. And my family is like, what? What are you? Why? What has happened? Like, they thought my mental breakdown was my life change at 30, but for me, my mental breakdown happened at 24. My mental breakdown happened several years earlier, and then it was just finding out who I was. And I don't think I truly knew who I was until my mid 30s, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't feel like I gained my own perspective because I was still so scared to be anything outside of what I thought I was supposed to be.
But again, with labels, what we
Yes.
talked on last show.
Yes, 110%. And even now, like I mentioned with the leaving, I feel like I'm exiting studio. I feel like, again, I'm losing my identity of who I'm supposed to be because I made Silvia Saige this porn star comedian, and now she's slipping into a different aspect. And it's like, yeah, it's just all changes. I went through a 25-year change, and now I'm going through a 40-year-old change, and then at 60, I'll be a whole new person again. Who knows?
But that's the good thing about life is like there's no clear path anymore, especially with the fuckery that is the world. There's no right age. There's no right relationship. There's no time for everything to click. And, you know, it's always this kind of search. Now, being a newbie in the porn world, do you feel that you have more of an identity now that you've entered the porn industry? Or do you feel that like, oh, now I'm just like a sexual
And also, do you feel like your last identity is gone? Do you feel like your identity as your regular human?
I feel as though I'm coming more into myself.
Okay.
It's kind of like Cruella, where she creates this character, but then she's like, oh, this is me all along. But yeah, I don't think that I'm shedding anything character-wise. I just think that I'm being more open and being more honest. Yeah.
Do you feel like you lost people in your life when that started, when you got into adult?
Not at all. I've only had support from all my friends and also all the new friends I'm making in the industry.
And family?
Family doesn't know yet. They're a little Catholic.
Oh, you are a...
I don't think they're me watching this podcast.
Well, no, that's true. They probably will.
That's a conversation I'm preparing myself to have with. And my family's small, too. So, like, my sister, my mother.
Yeah. Do you feel like it... Like, do you feel it eating away at you to tell them?
No. Do you... And I know it's a conversation that's going to happen soon.
What do they think you're doing?
I tell them I manage an online gallery.
Okay.
Because I manage an online gallery.
Some of the pictures move.
Yeah. And they're all pictures of me. And
multimedia.
No, you are not lying. You are not lying.
I am not.
So that's good. You're just not telling the whole truth. So do you feel now, because obviously you've come out to them as gay, so you didn't feel any resentment or any backlash when you came out as gay. So why do you feel it now in the porn industry?
I come from a family of nurses.
Do you almost feel like it's not a shame, but you feel like you didn't do enough in life? Is that where?
No, not at all. My sister, my mother, they all have gay friends. My mother was a nurse in the AIDS wards all throughout the 90s. Like, that was a non-issue, me being gay.
But the porn thing I'm saying, do you feel like ashamed, like you could have done more?
They're not as sex positive or open-minded in regard to enjoying one's body while we're still young and have them.
Did they talk about sex growing up for you? What was your birds?
Oh God, no, not at all.
What was your birds and the bees conversation, or did you get one?
It was all a physical demonstration. At the age of 17 that we discussed.
So your parents never discussed
there was no
it.
birds in the bees conversation.
I never had that with my mom either, and it was a very Catholic family. Never. My grandma gave my mom the birds and bees conversation when she delivered me.
Little late,
Grams.
My birds and the bees conversation was watching Queer as Folk, like on the lowest volume.
No, that Queer as Folk educated a lot of us of how sexy and positive it could be and fun.
Yeah.
But like even like physically, that was the first time I had ever seen
don't know what
men
that is.
in that kind. It was a show on Showtime. I think now it's like 20 years old.
It's getting redone, actually.
Yeah, it's getting
revamped.
But that was the only time we had seen without like porn, men having a highly sexual life, and it was.
Oh,
great.
really?
Yeah, I mean, it was very
there
graphic.
Were a lot, super graphic.
Is it kind of like? Sorry, I lost my voice for a second. Was it kind of like Taxi Cab Confession-y, like that genre?
No, it was scripted. A group of gay friends.
Oh, it's scripted. Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, it's supposed to be in Pittsburgh,
Vancouver.
Okay,
but like when I
scripted
grew up,
show though. Okay.
Yeah.
where I grew up, there was one adult bookstore, and it was so far away, and like to get to it, like I would drive around and around, so I would end up not getting porn. So I didn't see actual sex until super late, which maybe has shaped some of my weirdness towards it. But
Interesting.
yeah, but Queer as Folk, that was one of the ones. I was like, oh.
Queer as Folk and porn.
And porn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but porn, I don't feel like was always as accessible. I mean, it's only become in the
exactly right.
past like 20 years that it's been like a regular thing for people. I feel like porn wasn't even on the internet 20 years ago.
I mean-
was it? Was the internet 20 years ago?
No. And I remember
Like, what?
we would always have magazines, so it'd be like some friend's dad's magazine or whatever.
Yeah,
It
but they
was always
didn't have
that.
dicks in them.
No, so my friend's dad had Penthouse, and that was like, I was like, oh, I saw a dick for the.
Oh,
like,
Penthouse had dicks.
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
'Cause, I mean,
that.
I didn't have a father figure. I didn't have any of that in my family, so it was not like I was seeing dad or anything like that.
So the dicks you were seeing were like in like the gym?
Not even. I mean, we didn't
I'm
even.
like, what? I don't know.
I mean, even like in high school, there was no like locker rooms the way that you see. I remember it's Orange County. So.
Our locker rooms were. I saw all sorts of naked girls in our locker rooms. We were wide open. We didn't have like group showers or anything like that, like I feel like you see in the movies.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember taking a shower in gym. If I'm being
I learned
honest.
a lot in locker rooms in my adult life, I have to say.
in your adult life, though, but not growing up.
No.
What have you learned most about getting into the industry, especially during COVID? You got into it in like such an odd time.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult. I remember when I first started making content for the fan pages, it was kind of like get tested for COVID and then like make all these scenes for like 1 week with with other people making content, and then go back into hibernation. And yeah, you had to be careful. But yeah.
But now you love.
Oh, but now I love.
But now you're loving doing it, right?
Oh, I think I was loving it from the beginning. But yeah, actually being in LA and seeing like the heart of the porn industry and being part of it is kind of part of my language, but fucking epic.
Yeah, because now you're getting to like literally fuck all the people you've been watching for a while, right? I mean,
Yeah.
does it not?
I'm checking them off the list.
Right.
And some are going back onto the top of the list. Or
You know what? I felt like
Future.
I didn't get to do that though, because I didn't really watch porn before I got in. Like I kind of a little like we had like a DVD that would like circulate between my girlfriends and I, and I actually looked for one of the girls, Carmela Laval or something like that, but she wasn't around when I got in. But I didn't have that, so I didn't really like know porn stars when I
feel
got
like
in.
For gay porn, it's kind of like a sport where like they should probably make trading cards at this point.
Yeah.
And you have gay porn stars, whereas the guys in straight porn, I think we've talked about this,
Yeah.
like the actual idea of a straight star.
They're just kind of background.
They're
Yeah.
a prop. Yeah.
Yeah. But even the women, I didn't really know, like Jenna Jameson is all from an outside person from who was super Midwestern and like I didn't, we've talked about it. I didn't even masturbate till I was 19 because I was so afraid of like Jesus watching me and like finding out what I was doing and what I was into. So yeah, it just was a different way of life out there. I don't know.
Well, and from
Live
what
in
I've
a
heard
shame.
from us hanging out, it's also, it's fun to like fuck people that you fantasize about. But I can't believe all of the hard work from the editing that takes forever, from even booking and all of that. It's like it's too much work.
Editing is so fun. For now.
No.
But yeah, I like
It's
it.
like you have to learn all of that. There's no studio that's taking care of that. There's no studio that's doing your branding. There's no studio that's
Yeah.
helping you with social media. It's like you really are on your own.
A one-man
Oh,
show.
I'm learning
Yeah.
as I go. Yeah, I didn't know shit about Twitter when I first started this. I didn't know anything about the algorithms.
Well,
that are
and
kind
there
of
is
how-
no way to teach people that.
Yeah.
There really isn't, because everyone is going, even if there were a way to teach it, you almost wouldn't want it, because then people wouldn't find new ways of like succeeding and new ways of doing things. They'd just be following this like, checklist of what to do. But I feel like that's not how you're going to get wildly successful. Like, look at people like Pierce.
Pierce Paris.
Paris.
Yeah.
Thank you. He went completely like almost like Jackass style with his porn, like doing just absurd things that nobody else was going to be doing, and that got his name like out there and like known to people for just being like this crazy porn star. But that wouldn't have been like an objective way to like do it, how to get above in the industry, you know? Like everybody has a different way of doing it. So I don't even know that you would want like a script. Like
And plus, you never know what audiences are going to respond to.
That is 100% true. Yeah.
Some of the stuff that goes viral, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I think that all the time. And sometimes when people tell me who their favorite porn stars are, and I'm like, how? And they're like, could they do the like raunchiest shit? And I'm like, okay. So
There's
it has
an audience for
nothing to do with, has nothing to do with their physical appearance. That's not why you're watching them. It's because they will do whatever, absolutely anything.
Well, and Pierce kind of did that. He added comedy to his scenes, but he was also fucking every type of person in every type of scenarios. He even got a van and he would just like drive around fucking people. It's like he really did a lot of work.
Is he still around though?
He is.
I don't know the answer to that.
He's not doing as much work.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not sure if the scenes that are being released are
older.
Yeah, that they're, we know that there's a lot of stuff and the faults. I think, and I'm not, I don't think I'm giving any secrets away, but I think his personal life, he was in a relationship, and I don't know if he was engaged. That's just kind of what I heard.
Oh, got you.
I think personal life changed for him.
Yeah, but I just wondered because he's an example of like how dive in different ways into the industry. So I'm excited to see how you're going to dive in, and I'm excited to see how you're going to make your niche, and just be this amazing power verse and just knock it out of the water.
Power verse, I feel so. Step up to the plate with that.
Yeah,
no, but it's
why
true.
not?
It is very true. Now, what kind of scenes, like if you're going to do studio work, which I know you want to get into more studio work, like
fun.
What kind of scenes do you really want to do? Like what do you think your niche is that you really think that you would be a great star at?
I don't know if I have just one niche, but my interests, I definitely love anything locker room, groups. Public is kind of a guilty pleasure of mine.
I think public is so hot.
I love watching public films.
Yeah.
I love watching public films.
As long as there's no kid around when you're taking the picture, it's really hot.
I just love any of it. Honestly, like I love people who have a bunch of windows in their house and like leave their lights on at night and leave those blinds open. Like, thank you so much.
I'm
I
so
really,
nosy.
really like
I just want to see what they're watching on TV. I want to see what they're making for dinner. I want to see like
same
little details. Is what
I want it all. I want to watch, and I do it for people. I do it in my apartment. I live on the second level, and my windows are open to the outside. And I will do it only if I'm doing something interesting. If I am just sitting on TikTok and I'm ordering Postmates, I will draw the blinds.
That's funny.
Because I don't want people to see me being lazy. But if I'm being active and I'm like, if I have people over, or if, for God forbid, I'm cooking one night ever in my life, I want people to see it. I'm like, look at me. Look at me being productive in my life. Watch it, people. Watch the show. Like, yeah, I love it. I'm not getting fucked in the windows because no one's fucking me.
Not yet.
Yeah. It's so sad.
Do you think you'll ever get back into art? Or is there another passion that you've always had that you haven't been able to explore?
No, I'm enjoying the break from it, but I have been jonesing a lot. I love installing a show. I love working one-on-one with artists and curating and deciding what fits and what doesn't fit and how they fit together. It's going to be a moment before I get back into it. And also, we'll see how my new reputation fits back into it when the time comes.
Yeah. If
But
they
it's the
will
art world,
welcome
so
you
if
back.
you're going to judge someone on that level, like, you don't
Right.
belong
But there's
to
a
the
lot
art
of
world.
snooty people in the art world. A
Of
lot of
course.
people with
It's not
money that
finance.
they're not buying it for the art. They're just buying like, I own this piece. So I could see that there could be some resistance, or, get into like erotic art.
Ooh, yeah.
So one thing I was doing, working in the New York art world, I got into art modeling and posing for live drawing classes. So I
There's
was,
a lot to draw there.
You know what you should do? Do you have a giant penis or something and I just don't know it?
You've never seen
No,
his
I
work?
haven't seen his
You guys are
penis.
friends. You've never seen his work.
That's
like you
what-
said, we're friends.
Yeah, that's why. It's
Honey, I've
because
seen
we're
everything that you've
friends.
done.
Is it
Yeah, I know
giant?
you have.
It is.
Is
It's
it
not
like a giant third
just-
leg hanging down from you?
It's-
Okay.
It's
I don't know.
above
I haven't
average
I
in
appreciate
the
it.
industry.
Okay.
And
okay.
other people do too.
I still can't believe you haven't sneaked a peek.
No, I just haven't yet.
I watch
mean,
your stuff every now and then. It pops up. I'm like, might as well.
I will now. I will go and look at your penis. I will, just because I want to know.
Well, he has a very different
send you
energy
some
on
really
screen.
Okay,
nice
great. Thank
shots.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it's so funny because his energy on screen is very, it's
I just have fun.
but it's very strong. Like, the shy kind of whatever. It's not on screen at all. And he takes control. Especially even if he's like next to like a big muscle guy or something, he still has this very unique energy, which I think is very fresh to the industry.
Sex is your safe place.
Sex is my safe place.
I love that. It took so long for sex to feel safe for me, especially on set. So that's amazing that you already feel like natural in that. Like I always feel like I feel supernatural when we're doing the acting portion, and then as soon as they're like, "Okay, we're ready for sex," I'm like, "Oh, here we go. Okay, all right."
You're really good at the acting part too.
Yeah, I love that part though. That's my favorite.
That's the part that I'm nervous about. I feel
What?
like I'd be a terrible actor. if
Oh
I
my
were
God,
to-
I love it.
all the build up, all the stories.
I love stories.
I do too. I
Yeah.
love the build up. Yesterday was so much fun for me for that reason. Okay, but wait, we have a word of the day.
This is Silvia Saige's sexy, funny, raw word of the day. Do you know what it is?
And of course, so this is our word of the day. So it's a sex terminology word that I did not know the meaning to before we started. It's because I like to learn a little something on the show. So I will read the word and then you let me know what you think the word means. And then I'll tell you what the actual meaning is. Because no one has ever gotten a correct. I don't think in the history of the show anyone has gotten a correct answer.
I think truffle butter was one of the very, very first
Oh,
ones. I
then
think
somebody
one
might
person
have
got
gotten it.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
what is truffle butter?
Ugh, nope.
It's the booty.
know.
It's the booty juice that comes when it's like a little bit of lube, but a little of like the brown.
Santorum is truffle butter,
What?
right? Santorum.
I don't know what Santorum
Rick Santorum.
is.
That's the whole. The joke at the time was when you Google Rick Santorum, like this other thing comes up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
didn't
don't
know that.
know. Yeah.
But it happens between the area of like the actual asshole and like
Yeah.
whatever you have going up in front.
yeah.
Keira Knightley explained it really well on some late night
What?
show. Yeah.
Keira
the British
Knightley?
accent,
Nice.
it all sounds great.
I love that. See, I love that we're talking about sex on mainstream stuff.
Truffle. Okay.
Okay, but this word is Kilgon. No, that's not correct.
Klingons.
Is that really how you pronounce
Yes.
it?
Yes.
Oh. I was going to try and make it really technical, and it was not that at all. Klingons. Klingons is the term.
Klingons. That's the thing from Star Trek, is it?
It's also
Something
huge
else.
Something
turn in
sexy.
Star Trek, but yes.
Yes.
Klingon. That's when you have sex with someone and it's just so good that they just cling on to you. They're just messaging you on all
Oh.
the different platforms.
That actually
wanting more.
sounds like it would be, but this is way more disgusting and something that has happened to me personally.
What?
Yes.
Oh God, girl.
Okay, so Klingons is pieces of toilet paper or or excrement that cling to a person's asshole, like chestnuts, barnacles, or dingleberries, or some synonyms to
I was
describe.
thinking dingleberries, but I was thinking that's way too fucking gross to be at the answer.
Dingleberries, yeah. So it's just like a piece of something still hanging. Not only have I found them in men's assholes because straight men have no idea how
No
to clean
clue.
an asshole, and it's
They even
really.
they sell dude wipes at Target now. Now there's no excuse.
Honestly, I don't even think, unless you are very aware of your cleanliness, I don't even think men should have hair on their asshole. I think if you don't know how to take care of it, just get rid of it because you get stuff stuck down there and you need to be aware. So, but I had it happen to me. A man found it.
Oh
it was my ex, actually. The guy I was with for like 5 years that we bought a house together. He said the very, very first time he ever went down
oh my
on me.
God.
He said he saw toilet paper and he literally
Oh
just
my
like
God.
he said he moved it out of the way and just went with it because he was so attracted to me. He didn't want to make it weird. And he didn't tell me that until years
that's
later.
true.
that's
love.
a gentleman.
Yeah. It was like years later we bought a house and we were kind of joking about something along those lines. And he was like, "Do you know the first time I ate you out, I had to move toilet paper off your pussy?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Why would you not tell me that?" But I think he just didn't want me to be embarrassed.
That's actually very sweet because if anybody has anything going a little wayward,
You're just like calling it.
cut, hold, shower turns on, Postmates or no, Uber gets called. Like,
Well, now at this point, I have a different I weirdly think that people are rating my vagina when I leave the room. So I weirdly I'm if it's not pristine and perfect, I don't want anyone to be around it.
it's
But-
also part of your job too.
well, that too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I think, like you said, the majority of straight men they don't even
No.
look down there. They just oh God.
And it is embarrassing. You should be ashamed of yourselves, is all I have to say. Have you ever experienced dingleberries on someone or yourself? Have you ever found them?
Oh God, no. But that's also I'm so afraid to hook up with straight men
Oh, yeah.
because
yeah.
it's just nasty down there.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen it and called it? Really?
Yeah, have you seen any Klingons?
Close to it, or it's just not quite ready.
It's not
and
ready, yeah.
If there's too much hair, I cannot. I have sent boys into the bathroom with like a razor. Yeah, because I love
No,
it
you
smooth.
haven't.
I swear to God, I have.
Oh my God.
Because
Sounds like its own
I
fetish.
can't. I can't just because I know what's happening. You know, like
Also, I don't want to put my tongue on all that hair either.
Yes,
That's
thank
for
you.
me.
But I feel like there's a really classy way to There's a really classy way to go about like going down slowly down their back and like.
I
Not,
almost,
like,
Handing them the razor.
Don't just jump right into it because you never know what surprises are going to pop
oh
up.
yeah, 100%.
I'm
or
almost a
Klingon.
little.
I'm never a blind ass eater. Because
No. I'm almost a little offended when I go down on someone and they haven't like maintained, like they haven't groomed, and I'm just like,
Why'd
really?
you let
would
me go down
right? You
there?
would
Yeah.
present this to me? Like, what do you? Yeah, I'm offended.
Okay, so I have something to ask you.
Yeah.
If somebody only has one ball, or let's say there was something different about their penis, like it was blotchy or whatever.
I've had that. I've had lots of different. Yeah.
So I having this conversation with some friends just a couple of weeks ago. At what point do you tell them, like, hey, just so you know, I have one ball? Because you don't want to just put that out there because then you're assuming that they're going to go down on you.
Have you had sex with someone with one ball?
I have not.
You really can't tell. Like
I was going to
it's
say that
still-
wouldn't
the
bother
point-
me whatsoever.
Jake Nicola, who we interviewed, he only has one ball. You can't really tell.
Yeah, I don't honestly even know that you would notice unless you were like really into ball sucking.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
My
on
friend knew because it was very obvious.
but sometimes on guys, and I'm sure you have either had this or seen it on someone else, where one of the balls goes up, and so you can almost only see the one anyway, and you have to like fight it back down. You know, you gotta you like press it, like go back. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like gone inside the body. No? Have you not ever
Who are you
had
having
that?
sex with?
I've had balls disappear all the time, and you got to like fish them
It
back
sounds
out.
like a lava lamp to shit moving
It's
around.
what it
you.
has. I've experienced that. Yeah. I actually had a straight friend like message me about that the other day because he was like, "Is this normal?" And I was like, "Oh yeah," but now you guys are like, "No, that's not." And I'm like,
doing
"I've
it right
seen
now.
it. I'm like, I've seen it plenty."
But like, at what point do you say, "Hey, I could be just a little different than"?
I think when
other
you, I think once the making out has, because you don't ever want to assume that like you're on a date and you're like, "Hey, by the way."
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
but you also want them to be like, "Hey, I care enough about you that you like."
I think
I
when
should
you're making
prepare you.
out and you're like getting, everybody knows when you're about to fuck. Let's be honest. There's just like that,
True.
like
But so
there's
what's
that
the-
extra blood.
I think you should know
pumping.
What's like the ... of your question besides one ball? Because I think we got past that one.
No, but it's kind of like that. I was with somebody and they had such like a blotchy dick.
Penis, yeah.
Yeah, it had like I don't know if he had vitiligo or something, which fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't know when you're in the dark and you see splotches,
You
you're
felt
like
like you should have been
STD
warmed.
or something.
Yeah.
Like you know you need to know what's happening.
I understand that, and I've also been with men who had like a skin discoloration on their
Yeah.
penis in that same way, and I did that too, where I'm like, is something wrong? You
That's-
know,
yeah.
like so. I think you're right, and like just a heads up is nice. Like, hey, I have a skin condition before you go down there and you think it's a rash or whatever. You know, like. Yeah.
I haven't been in that situation, but I feel like I would just pick up. I don't have vitiligo on my cock, but if I
Yeah.
did, I would just like look at their face and be like, "Oh, they look worried. I should tell them that
Yeah.
this is vitiligo or one nut or whatever it may be."
But I mean, I don't tell people about my shit mole right before I fuck them, and they're gonna see that, you know. So
Can shitmole be the word of the day?
yeah,
It should. It should be.
yeah,
What is a shitmole? Exactly what it sounds like.
yeah,
And then some people in the bedroom, they think that you're just not going to like notice or care enough. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know, if it's really going to affect our good time together, then it's going to like when guys show up off Grindr and they don't look like their picture at all. And they think you're just not going to say something.
no.
Can I just say that is dishonesty?
It
That is that's a liar. Red flags. Get out of there.
And also, I don't
They know.
understand when they like
They
get
do know.
upset that you're like, oh well, why
Yeah.
would you care if I? Because this is the person I thought I was
Yeah.
meeting, and now
Yeah.
I've just my
And they know
first
it's wrong.
impression is deception. That's not
Bad
attractive. Yeah, if you would have shown me a picture of you 10 years or 10 years ago and 50 pounds heavier and been like, hey, this is what this was, this is this now, like we could have had that conversation, but now you've just lied. Like that's just not a good, I don't know.
Oh, you know what? I was in this situation.
Yeah.
Hot guy at the bar, super, just so my type. And we got drunk and we spent like the whole evening together. Then we get back. He had weighed 300 pounds.
Okay.
And so he was not that weight. I mean, he was whatever,
Thin.
but he had to wear
skin.
compression for the skin. So that's what I went through, and I'm not sure, knowing before, what I would have done
If
So
that would have
at what point of the
swayed.
date did he tell you?
when we were about to have sex, and he took off his shirt and he had a compression shirt.
But I think
and
that's the
then-
time. I think that's the time you say it, because before then, it's probably embarrassing for him to tell you, hey, I've lost all this weight. I have all this saggy skin. Like, I can see how that would be a mental fuck for him to have to tell random strangers,
Yeah.
you know?
Not completely random. You're on a date with him, right?
Well, it wasn't a date. You just met
no,
him.
yeah. No, we just met like out in West Hollywood, and
Yeah.
then we ended up, and I mean, I was so smitten with him, and then it was a lot of skin, and it was just it wasn't something that I was physically.
Do you think that if he would have told you earlier, you would have been mentally prepared for it?
Yes, but I think it might have scared me.
You think it would have swayed your opinion completely?
I don't know. I would like to think not, but I'm just really, really honest
Yeah.
about what I can get into. And
No,
not.
100%.
And like I said, it was a lot of skin.
Yeah, I mean, I have a problem with men when the skin is even like almost like a saggy,
Yeah.
when I like go to like grab their back and I'm like, ooh, it's sliding on your bones, like there's a, like, so I get it. Like, it's a feel thing. It's a texture. I can't eat oysters, like it's a thing. So I get it. And we all have our things also. Like, I don't want to have sex with a micro penis. That's just my thing. I don't want to do that.
Then you just turn them over. Oh, you're not a gay man. Shit.
Yeah, but I will fuck him,
Yeah, there you
especially
go.
if he has a micro
Take
dick.
that.
I will for sure do it.
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk a little about love and dating. So you're new in the industry. You're kind of newish to LA. You spent some time in Palm Springs. What's going on in the love and dating department? Is that on your priority list? Is that something that you think you can mesh with your adult industry job?
There's zero on that front right now. It's really not on my radar. I'm not saying no to whatever were to happen. That's nice, but yeah.
I mean, everywhere I take him, like we hang out, it's like, who's your friend? He's so hot. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, but you seem like oblivious to it, or just like not interested.
I'm probably just oblivious to it.
Yeah, I would say that. I feel, I don't know, love is a hard thing, especially when you're coming into the adult industry, because you're trying so hard to make a name for yourself having sex with strangers, and then to like have like a real life attachment. I feel like it's just hard. I don't know.
You have to
That's
find a very
But like I've
certain
Yeah.
been
person.
single for so long that I feel like that's just nothing new at this point.
Why do
Yeah.
you think you have been
If
single
if,
for
if
so
anything,
long?
I feel like I'm becoming part of a peer group that I'm like, okay, more like-minded people. Maybe I'll finally meet a boyfriend. Who knows? But yeah, it's just not on my radar.
But how come you haven't been in a relationship for a while? Are you going on dates, or are you just not?
Oh goodness, hard-hitting questions, Oprah.
Well, no, because
I don't
it
know.
always
It's
surprises me.
just- it's never been on my radar. I feel like I have enough awesome friends in my life.
have you had serious relationships?
Yeah, I
Okay.
have. The last one was probably well over 3 years ago.
Okay.
But I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. There's a big difference between lonely and alone.
Yes.
Yes. No, but that is very true.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody wants to go on a date, I'll be like, do I really want to put that energy in? And
also-
sometimes it works, but I don't feel like I haven't gone on a date in a week. I never
No,
feel
I
that way.
definitely don't feel like that. And honestly, I just put way too much energy into a human recently. And I'm like, why? Why did I put so much effort into something that didn't require it?
Well, and it has to be weird. Like I've said this to you, and it's probably annoying the fuck out of you. But like other people, when you say, "Oh, I'm single and I've been single for so many years," it's like, "Oh my God, you have," and it's like,
Yeah.
"Bitch, calm down." It's not like the end
Yeah.
of the world, but it always surprises me because
Yeah.
we have assumptions of successful people in the industry because
Right.
of looks and your energy, and you're such a strong woman that I would think, "Oh my God, what a catch for somebody."
Right.
Um,
I think that too. No,
and that's that's the empowerment that you have. It's like I don't need somebody to tell
Right.
me that or to make
Right.
me feel that. I
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah, very
And
accurate.
we know most guys in LA are awful.
Sylvia, do you think it's hard for guys to see you not as a sex object? Or
Yes.
porn? Yeah.
Yes. I think the number one thing is I'm very interesting to get to know, but not to have a prolonged anything with, for the simple fact of women lose a value in a lot of straight men's eyes when they have a lot of sex partners. Like, so I have, although it's a fun casualty and I'm a nice box to check, I'm not the box that you want to keep around forever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I think one fun thing is on Grindr, like I'm the last person to be like, oh, I'm horny right now. But like that's pretty much the messages you get from everybody. And they're like,
That's what Grindr's for. I'm sorry.
they're just like, oh, like I'm horny. I don't know. I just want to like meet a workout buddy or something. And
That
then
you can occasionally
maybe
fuck.
hook up in the locker room.
Then go to
yeah.
Tinder. No, it always bugs
But-
me when guys start sending all these talky messages. It's like, oh, what do you do for a living? No, I don't care. Just show me your dick, show me your ass, what time, and
So-
that's it.
Usually I'm just going on to check my messages, and then like 5 other ones show up. It's like I don't want to be rude. I have to.
Oh, you
I'm
poor
like, no,
thing.
I'm not. In the mood, but-
You poor thing.
But,
Okay.
But my thing is that all these guys are like, oh, I'm horny. Here's a dick pic. Here's a dick pic. And then they're
That's
like,
what it's for.
And then they're like, oh, I'm working from home. What are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm going off to shoot some porn. And they're like, what? And so, well, 10 seconds ago, you were the sex addict. And now I'm this crazy person to you. That
You're
yeah.
right. Yeah. It sets you in a different light. That's for
Yeah.
sure. Okay. Well, we do have to wrap up because there are other people that need to have the studio after us. So I will say a huge thank you to Fleshbot and to CyberSocket for being our sponsor. Thank you, Alexander, to being here with us. Thank
Always.
You. Thank you to our special guest, Mr. AJ Sloan. Tell the people where they can find you.
On my socials, Instagram is AJ Sloan, SLOANX. Twitter, OnlyFans and Just for Fans are AJ Sloan XXX.
And he's a
Beautiful.
newbie, so support him, retweet him,
Yeah.
subscribe.
Oh, and Cash App and PayPal, the triple X's.
There you go. I love it. We got to make these people some money.
Yes, money, honey.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Until next time. Adios.